Keith, a 29-year-old male from Kentucky who suffered from severe blushing and burning episodes of his face and neck, as well as cold fingers and hands over the past 24 years. Focusing on the topic at hand was difficult when feeling so hot in his face, and working with his cold hands was difficult as his fingers would become less nimble when so cold. Then he decided to travel to San Antonio, Texas for Micro ETS to improve those episodes, especially the burning, especially the heat sensations in his face. So once he arrived in San Antonio, he comes to my office, and as he enters in and to the exam room and I meet with him, this is what I found. I found that his hands were pale and actually quite cold. They weren't very moist because that wasn't his problem. His problem is mainly the burning of the face associated with the blushing episodes. Here's a thermal scan of his hands. You can see the center palm is represented by the yellow here. That was warm, but then as you would go out to the fingers, especially at the base of the fingers, and then the temperature drop from the base of the fingers out to the tips, represented by this purple color here, much, much colder of each of the fingers especially. And here's a comparison showing side by side his cold hands, pale, and the thermal scan with the cold fingertips. Then in the operating room the next morning, this is a picture that I took of the blush that he exhibited. You can see how extensive the redness is from the cheeks, neck, onto the shoulders, and ears as well. And then right after the Micro ETS procedure, before we woke him up, before my anesthesiologist woke him up, you can see how the color completely disappeared. That blush had improved significantly. Then the next morning in my office, here's his warm hands, and you can see the fingertips over here on the thermal scan. Notice the center palm, yellow, similar temperatures represented by the same color of yellow.